Alright, so I decided to take the blue transmission back apart because I was going over the video of me putting this clutch into the housing, and I had noticed I put a clutch against a clutch without a steel in between. So I feel like a complete idiot. So I tore it apart today and I corrected my mistake. Nobody's perfect, we're only human. And so after correcting my mistake, I was able to stay with the same tolerance and clearance this clutch had from the start of when I put this housing into the transmission. So as you can see, this is the new Sonex fly plate and backing plate. It's going in this. It was in this transmission to begin with when I was rebuilding it. It wasn't with it when it was older. Is a new part. So what we have here is, so before I had the double-sided clutch below the backing plate. So I went and I looked at it, figured out some stuff. Didn't take too long. I put a double-sided clutch on the bottom and went and stacked up from there. So I'm going to do this as best as I can to explain this. So you got the double-sided clutch here. So that's the inner clutch, and this is the outer clutch. You got the steel in the clutch, and then the inner clutch, and then the outer clutch, steel in the clutch. I'm gonna make it this way, so I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna just confuse people by doing this. So you got the inner clutch, outer clutch, 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 inner clutch, and below on the other side of these is a steel. So you got steel, clutch steel, clutch steel, clutch steel, clutch steel, and so on and so on and so on. So I'll give it a look at what these clutches look like. So there you go. You got your clutch on one side, you got a steel on the other. Same goes for the outer clutch here. Steel on one side, clutch on the other. So there we go. Sorry I don't get the camera just right sometimes. My angle's kind of off. I'm off. Who cares? Who knows? So this is me correcting my mistake. I'm very happy that I looked at that video and saw where I did go wrong. I admit I was wrong. I'm still wrong for doing so. But now we got it figured out. Now all I have to do is put this clutch back into the forward housing and put all our stuff back together. Drop this back in. I do have the reverse input drum and the pump inside of a bag to keep them clean. Got the filter right there. I'm going to replace this gasket. I just don't want to take any chances and reuse it with the fact it's already had been smashed down with the pump. So I do have a new one up there on the wall. I put it in here. It's identical gasket to this one. So give me a few. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to put this housing together, and I will be right back. Alrighty then, so we got it in. Makes a whole lot better sense. Double wide clutch on the bottom, double sided, whatever. Double wide? Really? Can't believe I said that. Double wide. Double wide clutch. Anyway, double sided clutch. You can tell in the gaps between each one And that's the way it's got to be. I do have that much clearance. Get my hand out there because apparently my camera don't like it. Just like that. That is a good clearance. The 3/4 clutch piston will not travel very far. Let me get that a little bit better. Yeah, so you can see it right there. How much clearance there is right there. That is less than 60 thousandths. I think that's 30, if I recall right. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and slap this baby back in and slowly put her all back together. And I will be right back. So I'm going to pause this again. If I had a gimbal, I'd just keep this going, but I don't. Anywho, how and why, I'm going to get started on this and get her put back together again. So, pausing. Okay, we got everything back in. Sorry I didn't show everything, but wanted to get it done as soon as possible. You got your, I got band back in there, extra wide 2/4 band, and the so I don't have the bolts completely tight. They're not torqued all the way. Oh, but you can almost see. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, there's the thrust washer between the two. See if I can try to get a good shot in there. Wow. I can't really get a good shot in there. But I can see it. Thrust washer seated just right. Only this thing had a better angle. I can, or the flashlight on my phone was in a different position, and it'll be easier to see. Oh, okay. She looks good. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna get the rest of these pump bolts in and tie this half up. Bam. And stuff. So, and I will be right back. Well, so everything's done. I got the bolts in. I don't know if I already said that or already heard on video. That's okay. The vice grips are fine. They're splined into the splines on the shaft, so I've been doing this for years and never had one problem. So and there's our band. So yeah, I need trimmed out. Trim down the pin a little bit. The apply pin. It's a little too long and engages that band at the kind of prematurely. So I am going to work on that right now. I'm not going to bore anybody with the video of that. So I guess that'll be it for this video on putting this transmission back together and figuring out the 3/4 clutch. That'd be it.